It took the Bulldogs and Generals 10 innings, but Bedford eventually came away with a 6-5 walk-off victory to earn its first win of the year on Friday, April 24th. Bedford took a 3-2 edge into the top of the 7th, but Nick Campono tied the game with a one-out single, and Ethan O'Neill gave his team the lead on a sacrifice fly. In the bottom of the 7th inning, the first two Bulldogs were retired in order before Kevin White walked and stole second and then was singled home by Nate Harrington. Tim Plunkett's scorching line drive found the grass in left field to give the Generals the lead again in the 10th, but Bedford once again bounced back with 2 outs. Lucas Olin laced a 2-strike pitch to right for a game-ending 2-run hit, sending the Bulldogs pouring onto the field in celebration. Bedford head coach Craig Blahnik was excited about the fight he saw in his team during the win.
They were down by, we were down by 1 run. Came and rallied. Something new this year that, last year they didn't have as much into them, but this year they definitely, have that in them, and it's gonna. I think it's gonna carry over into, hopefully for the rest of the season. It'll show that they can come back. Last season it was hard for them to come back, but this season I think, doing stuff like that, especially early in the year, it'll help them for later in the year too.
Even though John Stark was unable to hold on to a road victory versus Bedford, head coach Bill Stockhouse was impressed with his team's play.
Well, I told them in our just post-game that we have nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, we played hard. We executed well, very few errors, which I was happy with, and we just pick up the pieces and continue on. Well-fought game on both sides. They just happen to get the hits in the timely fashion, and that's the difference in the game.
John Stark was in position to win because of the effort of starting pitcher Ethan O'Neill, who loaded the bases with nobody out in the bottom of the 6th, but wiggled free with minimal damage, allowing only 1 run in the frame. John Stark mentor Bill Stockhouse had a decision to make as he walked to the mound in the middle of the jam.
I decided to leave him in. I had my lefty warming up at that point, and he just worked his way out of it, which I think he needed to have that experience. All the other appearances he's had, he hasn't had that yet, so that was a good thing for him to work through. But to have 1 run with the bases, he just worked hard, and he threw harder than he had been throwing.
4 base runners stole bases on the afternoon, with 2 of those players scoring runs after doing so. It's this aggressive style of play that Bulldog head coach Craig Blahnik has been relying on in the early going. Only 1 Bedford base runner has been caught stealing this season.
Yep, I have confidence in them stealing. I have confidence that they're going to read the signs and go. We know good times to steal, bad times to steal, and and they watch, and we have a good system going with the whole reading the signs.
While Bill Stockhouse was pleased with his team's play on the field, he's looking for a change in the mental aspect of the game as his team gets deeper into its schedule.
Just the confidence to know that we can win. They get down on themselves so easy, and I've been working hard at helping them to understand that there's no need for that. They can change. They can have a positive attitude in a loss, positive attitude in a victory as well. But they're their own worst critic, and so as a result, you spend a lot of time trying to talk them out of that type of stuff.
After a difficult inaugural season last year, the Bulldogs opened this season with a gauntlet of Class I foes that included 3 teams who opened the campaign a combined 15-0. Craig Blahnik said stealing a win against John Stark was a critical morale booster.
It was really important. I think they were getting down. The 3rd game that we played was against Portsmouth, and it was a hard game for them. Real hard game, and I think they really need this win to boost that confidence back up. So, and I think it's going to do it. They need that excited. I think last year we didn't get our first win till a little bit later. It's good to get that first one early in the season.